the war is over. Some might argue that the war never begun. I think differently. But regardless of whatever war was happening, that war clearly has a winner now. And it's not Tony Khan in AEW. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host Alyx, just Alyx, bringing you the truth. Some might say, you're being negative. It's not being negative. It's calling a spade a spade. At one point in time, 2021, 2022 even, AEW was competition for WWE. And though some might argue their mere existence means that they are competition, and if you want to have that, go for it. I believe at one point in time, they were legit competition that was stealing stock and market value from Vince McMahon, Triple H, and WWE. And somewhere along the line, they lost their way, and the war just went right to WWE. So at this point, in 2025, January 2025, there is no war. AEW is just another wrestling company. Just another wrestling promotion that these men and women can go to make money and make a living. And that is fine. There is nothing wrong with that. But it's not a war anymore. It's been a massacre. It's been a legit massacre for at least a few years now. What, 2 years? If that? Because initially, the amount of momentum that AEW had when they started in 2019 all the way to mid-2022 was incredible. This company brought CM Punk out of retirement. That alone gives it the recognition that it has deserved. There would be no CM Punk if AEW did not exist. I don't even know if Triple H would be where he is if AEW did not exist. AEW was a legit competitor. The first real competition to WWE in decades since WCW. That is no longer the case. Because since 2021, they have struggled to maintain viewership, to sell tickets. They lack in weekly compelling storytelling, at least compared to WWE. This over-reliance of dream match after dream match after dream match, rather than giving people a reason to want to spend their money. Spend money to see these men and women win or lose. Long-term stories, like Toni Storm versus Mariah May. More stories like that. And we also have the backstage issues. Don't get me started on the media scrum between CM Punk and the Elite. That is going to be a black mark on AEW until it goes out of business, unfortunately. Because they refuse to be the adults in the room and make it right. And so now they have to live with it. And that is on Tony Khan. No one else. That is on Tony Khan for not being a boss. But other dramas involving Britt Baker, the fights that Sammy Guevara got into, and other fights as well. The craziness with Chris Jericho and Kylie Ray. All of these issues just got swept under the rug. Nothing was resolved. It's just there. It's being hoarded up in that dark closet. And we are just pretending it doesn't exist. And while AEW is dealing with its decline, the WWE is having the resurgence of a lifetime. One of the biggest climbs back to success they've had since the Attitude Era. Because of consistent storytelling. Triple H has grabbed the hem. He has ripped this hymn from Vince McMahon and steered that ship in a direction like we've never seen before, like we have never seen before. Building upon generations of, dare I say, new legends, new stars. Everywhere you turn in WWE, there's a new big name. People like Jey Uso, people like Cody Rhodes. Of course, you still got Roman Reigns. Why wouldn't you? But the list goes on. I'd be here all day if I named all the big stars. But it's not even just creating big stars. It's also the stars that they're gaining. Think about all the people that left AEW. And I'm not just talking about Cody Rhodes, and I'm not just talking about CM Punk. Those are big names. What about Jade Cargill? Massive star now. Penta, one half of the Lucha Bros. You already know Phoenix is going to come eventually. You know Ricky Starks is coming eventually. You know Wardlow is coming. Aleister Black is practically on his way back. Think about all the talent that left WWE to go to AEW who now want to come back. Because they realize now that's the place that's sinking. That is now the sinking ship. The WWE that has dominated the world of entertainment, at least sports entertainment, for decades, is now this unstoppable Goliath, this conglomerate that continues to sell out arenas after stadiums. Record-setting numbers every week. Sell out. Going overseas, sell out. Breaking new arena records. They just broke one for the Raw debut on Netflix. 5 million views. AEW wishes they could hit 1 million. If AEW got a fifth of that, they would be singing that every single week. They can't even get 500,000 viewers. Barely 500,000 viewers each week. People don't want to admit it. People are scared to admit it, so I'll admit it. At this point in time, AEW is not competition. It might as well be another NXT. It's another feeder system. Just like TNA, it's another feeder system for talent. Because everybody that works in AEW, unless you're a big name, like a Bobby Lashley, like a Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Tony Storm, Swerve Strickland, of course, Keith Lee and others who came from WWE to join AEW, that are now reaping the rewards of working under Tony Khan. Everybody else that's not getting the TV time, everybody else that's being ignored, every other toy that Tony Khan has gotten done playing with is no longer within his range in this sandbox called AEW. They're leaving and going to WWE, and we all know they're going to be stars. They are going to be presented in a way that feels like, why did AEW not use these guys? Where did they go wrong? They went wrong because they stopped seeing the value in what they had. They lost sight of the goal. They stopped being competition, and it became a show geared towards praising one audience, the audience of one. One of the reasons why WWE was falling apart in the late 2010s. The audience of one under Vince McMahon has now become the audience of one under Tony Khan. And AEW is falling because of it. And that has nothing to do with WWE. It has everything to do with Tony Khan's inability to adapt. He refuses to adapt to a different landscape. This is no longer Tony Khan versus Vince McMahon. This is now Tony Khan versus TKO. This is Tony Khan versus The Rock, and Triple H, and Nick Khan, and Ari Emanuel, and everybody else involved with TKO. He refuses to adapt to what's new. And Triple H is constantly trying different things, always adapting to where the audience is and growing the business, while also training for newer talent, Look at the WWE ID program. And I keep saying it, NXT is about to blow up. When this starts going, when the WWE ID program really gets kicked into full gear with this TNA partnership, and it all converges in on NXT, forget about it. Forget about being competition for WWE. They won't even be competition for NXT. It is going to be an absolute massacre of epic proportions. Every day a new star is created, on top of the stars they already have. And the fans are always showing up. Every show, when it comes to WWE, doesn't matter whether it's WWE Raw, NXT, SmackDown, pay-per-view, Saturday Night's Main Event, sellout after sellout after sellout. The fans are there. WrestleMania 41, the lowest price ticket as of right now, this is true, is $700 for nosebleeds. And they're about to sell it out. They're about to sell out one of the most expensive WrestleManias in history. Imagine how popular you have to be able to sell out an arena where the lowest ticket is $700. AEW can't even sell out an arena where the lowest ticket is $20. And we know why. Their weekly shows suck. Weekly television for AEW, although it's showing signs of improvement, overall, it's still horrible. Dynamite and Collision. Because Tony Khan refuses to get out of the way and recognize he's the problem. Creatively, he sucks. Thank you for the dream matches, Tony, but you have to make people care. This is a business now. What are you going to do after you run out of dream matches? Now what? The weekly shows suck. The backstage culture sucks. And he doesn't know how to develop his own stars. He used to do it all the time. Hangman Page comes to mind. Now look at AEW. Look who's champion right now. Seriously, go through all the champions in AEW right now at this moment. The only one that I think is homegrown is Daniel Garcia. Some of you forgot who that was. Yeah, he's the TNT champ right now, I think. Did he lose the belt? No, that's it. Let me see. World champion is, oh look, Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. Okay, international champion is, well, there you go, Konosuke Takeshita. So that's 2. Not bad. Who's the Continental champion? Oh, Okada. Didn't necessarily create him, did he? Although Konosuke Takeshita isn't necessarily homegrown either, because he came from Japan too. We'll let you argue about that one. Tag team champs. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. Mercedes Moné is currently your TBS champ. The women's champ used to be Toni Storm, it's now Mariah May. And, homegrown. Is she? Again, we'll debate on what homegrown really means, but she did come from Stardom. So, the only, fresh talent that started in AEW and is a champion is Daniel Garcia. I mean, you can argue whether or not that is an exception to the rule, but the development of fresh new homegrown stars, they're not doing that enough. If barely at all in AEW. So let's put it to bed. There is no war. There is no war. Until AEW gets its act together, until AEW gets better at weekly shows, fixing its backstage culture, and learning how to develop its own stars again, this war is over. The WWE has clearly won the war. It has reached a point where mainstream appeal and all sorts of business ventures have absolutely outclassed AEW. That being said, AEW is still a very valuable alternative. Competition? But an alternative? Sure. Especially for hardcore fans who are sick of WWE and the way it does things. But I'm sorry. They are not competition anymore. Maybe one day, they can beat it again. But right now, forget about it. It is not competition. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Do you think that it's still competition? Did you ever think it was competition? Let me know down below. But I'm pretty sure I upset a lot of people, and that is okay. You can hate on me. You can hate me now in the comments. Thank you for watching. This will be my replacement for the lack of a SmackDown review tonight. I will be back up here. I will be back up here tomorrow for my WWE Saturday Night's Main Event live stream. So look for that. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. And of course, follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo, Blue Sky as well. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell for more content. And I'll catch you guys next time, right here in Alyx's world. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.